Welcome to White's Guide for Conquering the Galaxies in Star Wars The Old Republic. I'm going to help you guys get through each different class for the 7.0 series. I know that there's been a lot of questions with the 7.0 release because abilities got pruned, rotations got changed, new set bonuses got added, and so a lot of power has been adjusted and changed from class to class. So we're going to start off with the Juggernaut, and we're going to lead off with Vengeance. The Vengence Juggernaut is the strongest AoE class in the game currently. Um, it is a very comparable single target. You can do decently high, easily do 20k with it on single target, and then AoE, I have done upwards of 157,000 damage per second in AoE. It's insane for AoE. So let's lead off by talking about two of the implants that you're going to get, and then two tacticals that you have to pick up for this class. So there's a bit of a tech frag requirement to this. The first one's going to be Victor Package, and this makes it so that when you spend Rage, you do 10% more damage for 10 seconds. You're going to spend Rage within 10 seconds. I guarantee you, so you'll always have this up 100% of the time. The next one is going to be the Champion's Precision package, and this makes it so that when you use Blood Rage, you get a 20% crit increase for 8 seconds. The other abilities are for different specs. Blood Rage is in Rage, and then for Vengeance, it changes to Blood Rage when you go into Vengeance. And this ability is a 40-second cooldown, and we're talking about it's your new offensive cooldown that people have been begging for a Juggernaut forever, and they finally get an offensive cooldown in this form. Between this and a talent that goes stacks with it, it is going to be your big DPS increase to press that. The other two things we're talking about is the two tacticals. You're going to pick up Cut to Pieces for AoE and Hemophobic Slash for single target. The Slash tactical makes it so your Ravage ticks all your bleeds. That's the simple way of putting it. And then the Cut to Pieces is going to make it so that the cooldown of Vengeful Slam is reduced by 1 second for every bleed that critically hits. This is going to be important because with the new change to Blood Rage and the way your crit works, with some talents, you'll be over 75% critical strike on your bleeds, which means you're going to crit a lot on your bleeds, making it so that you can slam back to back to back to back on AoE pulls. You won't need to do anything else besides applying your 3 dots, which is Shatter, Impale, and Force Scream, and then Vengeful Slam spam the rest of the time. A little bit of a tongue twister. Other than that, your basic rotation is going to be Sundering Assault, Shatter, Impale, Force Scream, Ravage, Vengeful Slam, and 2 filler abilities. So those could be either Vicious Slash twice, or if you have a procced Hew, you're going to Hew and Vicious Slash once, and go back into your rotation, 1 through 6 again. I put them in order, and I play it in order, just so that it makes it really easy. Outside of that, you're going to use Blood Rage on cooldown, but in this case, I usually wait until I have my Force Scream on the target, because what this does is it makes your critical strike damage, or critical strike chance of all your dots, your bleeds, increased by 70%. So I wait till I apply my bleeds before I want to increase that crit modifier, as you'll get more time that those bleeds are ticking to have that modifier active. So you get more damage if you wait till your Force Scream's applied and then you hit Blood Rage, as opposed to just throwing it up there right now and then hitting a non-bleed Sundering Assault and then throwing on a shatter, and so then you'll have one bleed ticking 2 seconds in. Now 3 seconds in, you're gonna have an impel, and so you finally have two bleeds on your target 3 seconds in. You can see where I'm going with this. You lose a lot of damage. You just want the crit bonus on your bleeds. So you're gonna wait till you get your Force Scream, then your pop your Blood Rage, and try to do that consistently even when it comes off a cooldown. Put up your dots, hit Blood Rage. Put up your dots, hit Blood Rage. Um, Outside of that, use your adrenals on pull or use them when you're going to pop your dots. It has last 15 seconds. It's going to be there for your first iteration, your first going through your rotation, first iteration of your rotation. Let's go through the talents. I pick up Major Fracture. This one's going to do the most damage out of the three. I've tested this out pretty thoroughly. The next tier, it's not even a question because you're not going to immobilize bosses. They're immune to immobilization effects. And Sweeping Slash does a lot less damage AoE than just Vengeful Slam spamming. So there's no reason to pick up this Sweeping Slash at all. We're defaulted to this. Projected Scream. And then we're going to go with Bleeding Offense. It makes your critical strike chance increase by 20% for Impel. So maybe while the other dots have a 75% crit, Impel's going to be at a 95% crit. Crazy good. It adds another bit of damage too whenever Impel does crit, which is all the time. Now, Blood Rights, this is the one we're going to talk about the most in this entire tree. This is what makes this spec work so well, is Blood Rage no longer generates rage. Instead, it increases the critical hit chance of all your bleeds by 50% for 20 seconds. 20 seconds is such a long time considering that the cooldown of this is 40 seconds. So half of the time that you are playing, you're going to be critting with your bleeds because of Blood Rage. This is an amazing talent point, and it's the whole reason, the key to what makes Vengeance Jug so strong right now. The other one we're going to do is Extending Roar. Getting attacked and reducing force charge cooldown is not that big of a deal because you already have a passive as a Jug. When you leave combat, your force charge reset anyways. So you're not going to get a whole lot of play out of this one. And generating 4 rage when stunned is not going to help you very much because you're not going to have rage issues with Vengeance. You will with the rage spec, but that's a different video. Vengeance spec, you will never have rage issues. So we're just going to go with the Extending Roar on this one. And then up here, the only two that are worthwhile is Hardened Defense, which I will take when I need to reduce AoE damage. And the only way that works is when you Threatening Scream, which will reduce your threat when you're in DPS spec. It's an AoE taunt in tank spec. It's a threat reduction in DPS spec. But when you use it, you take 60% reduced AoE damage for 15 seconds. Kind of a big deal on a couple of fights, and you should be using Threatening Scream almost on cooldown to make sure that you're not going to rip threat off your tank. The caveat to this is that it's not on a global cooldown. I will show you. You can go ahead and go up to the target dummy and press this, and in between an ability, it wasn't stopping me from pressing 2 abilities at once. The other thing to talk about here is that Payback reduces Unleashed cooldown by 30%. This is the one I generally go with, or 30 seconds, I mean, and it's so that if you need to pop out a CC, then this is readily available for you to get back into the fight. And the heal of 10% is okay, but we're looking for the 30 seconds off of our get out of CC and get back into the fight. These two, Saber Reflect and Mad Dash, are both very comparable. Mad Dash is mainly what I use because then you're putting a root or a CC effect and you want to get out of it. Let's say that I'm rooted or slowed over here and I need to move so I don't get hit. Mad Dash will remove the immobilization effect and it purges movement and parrying effects. And I use that mainly for that, less for just getting around the map. And then to get back, of course, you can force charge back in. And the reason why we don't take Warmaster is because you passively have Warmaster. I do not know why they did not do this, but they didn't clear the fact that you have Warmaster already, passively. I don't have it clicked here. I do have Payback clicked. And what Warmaster does is it makes it so that you're immune to mobilization effects, knockdowns, roots when you charge, when you do a force charge. Look, this little shield here is Warmaster. I'm not going to get knocked down for 3 seconds after I charge, even though I don't have that talent point. You passively already have this. I have no idea why they'd even put a talent in there that you still have. And then the last tier, we're going to go through Passion. The defensive capabilities of this is a lot higher. This is going to be a 10% gain to direct damage. All your damage comes from bleeds as a Vengeance. This is going to be almost a no DPS gain to have pooled hatred. The other one, Crushing Fist, is to sunder a target's armor by 20% with Vengeful Slam. The only situation that's going to help you out is in AOE because you already have a sundering a target's armor with stacked on Sundering Assault. These do not stack. You can't just have 40% armor reduction. They'll either get the Sundering Assaults one or they'll get the Vengeful Slam one. So it's nice to have a defensive cooldown reduced, and that's why you take that one. For this rotation of Juggernaut, you're just going to charge in, and then, or if you're already on the boss, completely forget the charge, just go through the rotation. It's going to be Sundering Assault, Shatter, Impel, Force Scream, and then we're going to pop our Blood Rage at that point if it's available. And we're going to Ravage, Vengeful Slam, and we will do 2 Vicious Slashes, or we will do a Vicious Slash and a Hew. If Hew is available, we want to use it. It does more damage, but it's 2 fillers, so it's either going to be Vicious Slash twice, or Hew and then Vicious Slash. And then we'll go back to Sundering Assault, Shatter, Impel, Force Scream, Ravage, Vengeful Slam, and just over and over. It's as simple as rotation based. A lot of classes are priority based. The Juggernaut has a rotation you follow because that's about applying your dots and then using a filler that makes them tick twice, which would be Ravage, and then Slam to spread them, and 2 fillers, and back to applying your dots. It's not a priority based. So let's go ahead and do it. One small thing to note here is that Blood Rage is not on a global cooldown, and so you'll see me using it with 4. I'll press these at the same time, 4 and Blood Rage, and then I'll get back into my Ravage and Vengeful Slam. Another thing is your AOE rotation is going to be different. You're going to apply your dots. So if you need Rage, you're going to use Sundering Assault. Other than that, you're going to apply 2, 3, and 4, which is Shatter, Impale, and Force Scream. And then you're going to just be spamming Vengeful Slam after that. If you have Blood Rage available, you're going to use it after you hit 4. Again, same as your rotation. And you're going to just Vengeful Slam spam after that, as long as you have Cut to Pieces on. And that is your AoE rotation. The small things to make you slightly better is if you've got a ton of mobs and say that they're all weak, if you throw on a Shatter and an Impale and a Force Scream on the same target, it's going to kill your target. You're not going to have bleeds to spread from that target to everything else. So what I do, and what you should probably do, is Shatter one, hit tab, it'll target another one, Impale that one, hit tab, Force Scream a third target, and then Vengeful Slam, and then everything has all 3 dots ticking on them. It will spread any of the dots around in the entire area that you have applied. It doesn't have to be on a specific target. It doesn't take a target at all to use Vengeful Slam. And everything within the 5 meters that has a bleed will spread the bleeds to everything. So I spread out my bleeds so I don't kill a target and then have no bleeds to spread. Thank you for watching and have a great day.